This afternoon we're about to be shown around this waterhole, so Byron and Nikki are about to let us know the history of this place, and I'm really intrigued because it is very beautiful and it reminds me of a spot that we have back home as well, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yuji Uria, welcome. Today we're going to do a little bit of ochre marking, and back in the day the ochre was very special, especially for our ceremonies, and we used to sit around in gatherings. Our old people used to sit down and tell our children dreamtime stories, our language, and they'd put dreamtime dots and our dreamtime markings on our face. When we do our face painting, our women would have dots up here and dots down here, and that represents seeing our culture through our eyes. And as part of the warriors, we would have our warrior markings and across our nose. For these markings are represented for when we do culture on country, our ancestors can identify us. So I'd like to palm it over to my daughter, who's going to do some of the markings on your face. And then after the girls have a go, we will do the warrior, the men warrior. So when we have our ball roll rings around our legs and around our arms, and this is why we wear a headband to keep our head protected too. So therefore our whole body is in spirit. And as they would do it, our elders would sit there and teach them the language, especially hello. And in their language, hello was yiji. Welcome was uria. And sometimes when you praise somebody up, it was like uria uria. So it was like gathering when they come in. So there were certain meanings to our markings as we go through.
Byron just sat all three of us down and talked to us about their tribal markings and their paintwork, and had his daughter paint up the two girls, and Byron painted up myself in his tribe's warrior paint.
Thank you. As you can see, this one is a different marking, and this one is our warrior marking for when she goes hunting. So this one here is the healing ones with the dots. And now I will do the markings for my brother.
It was a great experience to hear about that and just see how each different tribe can mark their territory and their people. It is the first time I've been painted by a tribe in a special marking, spiritual markings.
You can see the ball roll rings that represents the healing places. We've got the face marking that represents our ancestors and our spirits to identify us. So this is the bloodline that actually comes through the Bundaberg, the burner rib, the Boro. Then we've got our healing space, our Boro rings that lead into a healing place where we do our ceremonies.
Never been painted before, but it was a great first experience from especially the landowner's tribe to have their paint, their traditional paint put on me in such a spiritual way.
After when we got painted up and put our sacred markings on, our people used to sit around with their elders, and the elders used to play their clapsticks, and what they used to do, they used to sing song lines and stuff. And besides that, this is where the younger generation would, when we do our passages or rites, this is where our elders would sit down and talk to the younger women, what kind of woman would you like to be? And the older men would tell the young warriors, what kind of man you want to be? And this is where they would sit around and gather information and stories. And through the stories and information, they would have a better understanding of the younger man and what his thoughts was. And then the younger man had the proper idea what the older man wanted of them. And it was so pursued with the women too.